So I wanted to speak about neutrality, right? You hear this word neutrality many times in spirituality, people saying even like they don't mind something being the way it is. They don't mind life, right? Being like whatever happens, right? Right? So like nothing bothers them, for instance, right? This state of neutrality where people are not bothered, right? And then I think more deeply and honestly about it, and actually the word neutrality is not the right word. It doesn't describe what is actually the aim of life. The aim of life is not being neutral, not minding what is, and not caring about life, because this is actually not true, right? Even me speaking about that, for instance, I was my whole life like I don't mind it, right? But actually I do mind it. I did mind it. I was just ignoring this part of myself, and not actually not being overpowered by something in my life. But this doesn't mean just because I didn't lose myself, I didn't lose my center, just because I was truly feeling fine with it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything to me, right? Being neutral, neutrality is not the right word, because being neutral doesn't mean being lifeless. It means not caring about life, ignoring life when it actually does matter, right? If you have an option, somebody treating you like shit, and then you have an option of somebody treating you nicely, you would always choose nice treatment, right? It, even though you're being treated like shit, or somebody opposes you, or confronts you, or want to fight you, or criticizes you, or whatever, it doesn't feel nice, right? If they are behaving like that towards you, it doesn't feel nice. And to the weak people, they are overthrown, overburdened. They lose their own center. They collapse when they are faced with this kind of destructive people, right? And but the more mature people, the evolved people, the spiritually evolved people, they say that they are neutral and don't mind, but actually this is not true. The word neutrality is not a true word, because actually we mind it. We just don't lose center when we are facing this kind of people, right? Destructive people, confronting us, judging us, hating on us. Evolved people do mind about it, but they don't lose themselves in it. They don't lose themselves, their own center, their own clarity, their own discernment, their own truth. They don't betray themselves just because they are in a chaotic situation, right? In a confronting, destructive situation. So every sensible being would always choose a nice treatment instead of the bad treatment, right? The evolved ones just don't lose their own center. So neutrality, not caring, actually, it's not the right wording, the right word, the right way to express how we actually are. But the right word is actually openness. And not even openness, but actually in the grounded sense, in the practicality of life, the most accurate word that describes evolvement is resilience. Resilience. Yes, you being open to the situation, to the unpleasantness of life, to you being judged or hated by somebody. You saying that you don't care, it's not true. You do care, but you are not controlled by this. You would prefer a nice treatment, but no problem. It is what it is. You're open to the situation, and it doesn't burden you, it doesn't control you. You remain who you are. You remain in your truth, right? In your clarity. You are open to it, and because you've been open to facing life as it is, and after that, remaining open, still being who you are, not allowing distractive people, destructive confrontations to close you and make you greedy and hateful now towards others being hurt and because somebody else hurt you, but still remaining open, learning the lessons, learning the wisdom from the life, and remaining open. So, thus, truly on the practical level, becoming resilient, right? No matter what happens, I can take it and I can remain who I am and I can remain having an open heart, not being naive, learning from the lesson, getting wisdom, becoming more experienced, but still remaining open, and thus truly proving to yourself that you can face life as it is. And people that face life as it is, they don't become neutral. They are not like the people that don't care, that don't have opinions, that don't mind what is happening, that are opinionless, emotionless, whatever, right? Actually, the mature, truly resilient people, not the people that perform resilience, where they say, "Oh, we have went through all of it and we will continue," but actually they are in a crutch, they are in contraction, they are bracing themselves, right? And they are just waiting for the life to end. I'm not talking about this kind of resilience. I'm talking about the resilience where you remained open in the face of it all, and after it, you remained and continued being open. This is what I mean. Truly being one with life. Not just facing situations, but being one with it, allowing it to flow through you. Face life fully, truly within your individual experience, as it is demanded from you in the moment, feeling whatever it is in the moment. And because of truly being open to it, not attaching to it, and therefore leaving it behind. Purifying yourself, not getting stuck in life, and thus truly remaining open, right? Proving to yourself through resilience. So, resilience is the right word of the mature, evolved, embodied beings. They are resilient, they are truly open, not a performative resilience, but a relaxed, spontaneous one, right? So when I see in spirituality people talking that life is just how it is and there is nothing that can be done, and people just being lifeless, emotionless, driveless, not being their own researcher in them, not being triggered into helping to resolve the issues of life, helping people. When I see this kind of people that are actually emotionless, lifeless, then I don't see spiritually evolved people. I actually see passive, indoctrined, dissociative people. People that can remove themselves from the life, from the society, from the struggles, from the suffering, and just be a witness to it, right? This to me is pure delusion. It's not spirituality. It's the exact thing that actually Satan, that infiltrated himself in spirituality, just as he has done, infiltrated himself into every part of this life, trying to make us into a passive zombie like human that is capable of observing all of the horror that's happening in this life and not be bothered about it and not be touched by it, right? If you're practicing this kind of spirituality, if you're being like this, you're practicing dissociation. You are not in your heart. You don't know spirituality. You're not even embodied. So, just as a warning for people to discern in life when they are being presented with what spirituality and how evolvement looks like, right? Spirituality means being human. Spirituality means loving humanity, but not superficially, truly, all the way. To the sense, to the degree where it feels like your family, and then you're trying the best you can do to save them, right? Because this is how you would behave with a family. You wouldn't be neutral about it, right? You would mind it. You would give all of your talents for it, for the resolvement of it, for the resolvement of the pain and suffering, right? You would help, right? Family helps, right? So spiritually evolved people help society. They don't cut themselves away from it and pretend that they're being spiritual. Nothing's wrong with isolating yourself in order to come to this understanding, to come to this level of understanding through embodiment that you have done in your isolation, where you are searching for yourself, your clarity, your center, right? But when you have done this, when you have achieved your power, what's the point of that power? Is to give it to the people, right? To help the people. That's the point. There is no other point in life. You can only behave selfishly when you're weak, because weak people don't have power for others, right? But when you're powerful, it is impossible for you to be just selfish, because you have enough power, you have taken care of yourself, and now you are happy to help others. You can help others, you can actually help others, right? So just know that true spirituality means resilience, a spontaneous, relaxed resilience. This is the sign of spirituality. Spiritually evolved human beings, this is the factor that you should look for. That's it.